guys, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be showing you my at-home eyebrow shaping and tinting routine. I'm going to be taking you through my 5-step guide, and I made up a little thing for you to remember it by. 5 S's: structure, shape, shade, scrub and slay. This is how I've been doing my brows for like, I don't even know, since I was like 16. I had enough of the brow lady making my eyebrows look like pencils, like stick insects. Okay, so this is what I do, and I've been doing this for so many years to maintain my brows at home. Hopefully this is going to help you as well and also save you a little bit of money. So let's get straight into the video. So before I go in and remove any of my eyebrows, I want to make sure that I know what structure I'm going for. So what I'll typically do is take an eyeliner pencil or an eyeliner pen, it doesn't really matter, and I'm going to make little markers to set the structure of my eyebrows before I pluck. So I'm going to do 3 markers per eyebrow. This is all dependent on what shape you want your eyebrows to be and how you want them to look, but this is typically how I like to do it. So I'll take the eyebrow pencil and I'll line it up with the sort of tip of my nose here, okay, and then do a little line just like that. So this is going to be where the eyebrows start. I like to have mine quite close together. I find that this makes my face look a lot more narrow. I've naturally got quite a round face. Next little marker is going to be the highest point of the eyebrow. So again, I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to line it up just here where my nose is, and it's going to go through the my pupil of my eye. That is like the wonkiest line ever, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, this part here is going to be the highest point of the arch of my eyebrow. So that's where I want it to be most lifted. And final part is the tail of the eyebrow, so the end where you want it to finish. So I usually do mine again, taking the pencil from the edge of my nose, and this time we're going to line it up with the outer corner of my eye. So that's given me 3 points to show me where my eyebrow hair is going to start, the highest point of the brow, and where I want it to finish. I'm going to use this as a guide for when I start plucking. So the next S is shape in my little routine. So we're going to start defining the actual shape of our brows. Personally, I like my brows to be quite lifted. So I typically like the end part to be quite high. I don't like to bring mine down that far. That's why when I'm plucking, I tend to pluck all of these underneath hairs quite a bit more than, say, someone else might do. I don't really like my brows to be quite curved. I like them more sort of straight, but still with a little bit of an arch. So at this point, you need to decide what sort of shape you want your brows. Don't worry if you haven't got a clue. To help you with this, you can look at eyebrow shapes on the internet. Think about a shape that you think would suit your face, and once you're happy with what shape you want, you can go in with a pencil or your usual eyebrow tool and literally just draw on the shape that you want, okay? Let's get plucking with these tweezers. Couple of rules that I like to go by. When you're plucking, always pluck in the direction of the hair. Don't pull against it so you don't damage your brows. I prefer to pluck mostly underneath my brow. So when I'm doing this, take a little spoolie or something and brush your brow hairs up so that you can naturally see that line a lot more clearly. And I do go over the top bit a little bit as well to neaten it up. So when you're doing the top, brush your eyebrows down. I know it looks really weird, but you'll literally be able to see such a clear line, and you can probably see a lot more hairs when you're doing that as well. I'm gonna speed it up and zoom you in real quick while I start plucking my brows. Alright, so I have neatened up my brows. As you can see, I naturally have very thin brows and I don't have much hair, it's quite sparse. There are also little patches, like you can probably see here, where I don't know why, but like hair just doesn't grow there. So this is where the shade step comes in perfectly. So to tint my brows, I like to use the EYLURE, it's called the EYLURE Dybrow Permanent Tint for Brows. Now this is definitely not permanent, okay, that's why I like using it, because it does come off. So if you make a mistake, you can literally scrub it really hard and it will come off. They have them in different shades. I really like the dark brown one. So I'm going to show you how I use this. One thing about this, even though like I said, it's not permanent, definitely not on your eyebrows anyway, do not get this on your clothes or on a work surface, on a table or anything, because it will not come off, okay? I have learnt that the hard way. So I've mixed the applicator and the dye together. You can read that in the instructions. And all I'm going to do with this really thin spoolie that it comes with, I'm just going to brush that really, really carefully over my eyebrows. Okay, and not just on the actual hair that I've got there. Remember, I'm going to be trying to cover up some of these patches where I don't have as much hair. So I'm going to basically kind of dye on the shape of the eyebrow that I want. Any parts which you literally feel like you've gone over it a little bit too much, just take like a damp cotton pad and you can neaten that up. Okay, I quickly did that off camera. With this, you want to make it as neat as possible. Obviously, it is quite hard and it will go a little bit thicker than you probably would want your brows to be anyway, but that is completely fine. You probably think I look very strange right now, which I do, but don't worry, it is not going to look like this at all once we are done with the whole process. So I'll leave this on for like 10 to 15 minutes. I think in the box in the instructions it says like 5 minutes, but trust me on this. Also, I want to tint my actual skin a little bit as well to hide up those patches, so that's why I leave it on a lot longer than what it says on the box. But don't worry, it is not going to permanently stain or dye my skin or anything like that. I usually do this once a week, so this tint won't actually last much longer than a week, so it does come off, don't worry about that. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, I couldn't be bothered to wait any longer, so all I'm going to do now is wipe off the excess pigment. When you're wiping them off, I always start with the brow that I put on first, because bear in mind that one has had the dye on it for a little bit longer, so if you are happy with the pigment and you think it's enough for you, then you can leave it there. What I sometimes do, if the ends of my brow I want a little bit darker, then I'll go in with the same dye and just put that on the ends a little bit more. Leave it on for about 5 minutes, take it off again, and it just makes it stand out even more. I'm going to leave mine how they are today. Okay, now you're probably thinking, wow, they look quite extreme. Now, don't worry, the 4th step in our little guide is scrub. So these inner parts here, which naturally you have less hair, I'm just going to scrub these inner parts of my eyebrows, again with a cotton pad and a little bit of micellar water. And as you can see, that looks so much more natural. You can see like the inner parts here, if I come in a little bit closer, this part here, it does look like it's not like fully blacked out, okay? And final step, we are going to slay these brows. I'm just going to go in with a little bit of brow gel. Okay, and that is done. Look at the difference between my eyebrows. They look so much more thick, and yeah, I could literally go out like this. Don't need to put any makeup on. Alright, and that is my finished eyebrow routine to maintain them at home, keep them looking nice and sharp, and it makes it so much easier for when you want to get ready in a rush and you don't have time to draw on your brows every single time. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and that this has helped you out. Hopefully you can try this at home and you'll see why you no longer need to go to your brow lady. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I will see you again very soon.